Okay, so something I've seen is a lot of people confused on the installation process for this. I'm very certain everybody knows how to install this. It's straightforward, click install, it loads, done. From there, the Roblox Studio side of the plugin is done. Now for you, or for the Blender part, which is where a lot of people get confused, such as it saying save as something.py. That is where a lot of people get confused by. Now, basically, this is where a little bit of confusion can come in because of the fact of it's not very descriptive. But anyways, so basically take whatever Blender version you have. I suggest using Steam, getting Blender from there, using the latest version, which is right now 292, as you can see, down here, 292 on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. It says 292. So for me, I need the versions for 291, 28, 282 per, essentially. It works in 292. I have yet to have problems with it. But if you're using Blender 279, use that one. But this is the part where a lot of people get confused, is this part. So just open this up in a new tab. And now there's kind of two ways about it. I don't know if all web browsers have this function, but on Chrome at least, you can right click, go save as, and then this is the part that people get confused. Make sure this part that says text document star.txt is just all files star.star. And then rename this. I will rename it to RBX rig importer if I can type. And then end it with .py, which stands for Python basically. It means it is a Python file. So the code is meant to run via Python, which is what Blender uses for its plugins. Now, just in case if you don't have the right-click save as, you can just Control-A, copy, go to Blender, open up new text document. I have Notepad++. You can use whatever you need. As long as it can write words into a not text document, you're fine, which I believe the default one is Notepad. I'm just going to change this again. Importer. I'm going to name it slightly different just so Windows doesn't get complainy. And then, so basically from now, is you just paste this in, you go Control-Shift. Actually, you can just do Control-S and save it. So now, actually, let's just close this real quick. So now you have RBX rig importer.txt, and if you open it up, it's the whole thing, which is good. So now just press F2 or right click and go rename, because you can just go right click, rename, and then just change the extension to .py. It'll say, do you want to change the file extension might become unusable. This does not matter. So now we have these both will work in Blender. So now what we do inside of Blender, we go edit, preferences. Of course it opens up on my other screen. So we go into here, we just go install. And then we go to wherever I saved it, which is right here for me on my desktop. And then, so you know it'll work if both show up or one. Should only have one because either or of those two will work for you. And then you just double click it, and then just like, I already have it installed, but for you'll only see one of these and it won't have the checkbox. Make sure it has that checkbox. Once that checkbox is done, you're all grand and dandy. You can exit off that part. You can go file, import, and then, well, for me I have two RBX importers. You only have one, so you just click one. And then once you've imported the rig, it'll look kind of funny. You won't be able to animate with it just yet. Actually, I have to import a rig real quick. Sorry. Just import a rig real quick. Give me a second. I'll do this off screen. There we go. So here's a rig that I've had exported from Roblox. It's just a basic R15 rig. You just press N. Then you go RBX animations, which is right here in this tab. Then you go rebuild. The only two settings in here that work, I don't know why, but is the local y-axis aligned bones, which if you click OK and rebuild the rig, it looks like this. You can also do connect, and then that will force the bones to chain essentially together. I believe nodes only works too. Yes, so it just has nodes. Down to personal preference. I personally, when I'm doing R15 like this, I typically do connect. And then, well, from here you can just select the rig, go Control Tab, and then now you're in pose mode. You're all good and ready to go. Good to make your animations. As well as, you know, obviously there's the IK, which if people ask, I can easily make a tutorial on later down the line. So, because that's not exactly how an arm should bend, but I can easily do a tutorial later down the line if people want. But yeah, if that's how you install the Blender rig exporter / importer. And then like but yeah, if you're done your animations, you probably know how this works, but if you're done the animation, you just click export, go into Studio, import, it'll open up a script, you just Control V, you should be all good and grandy. But if people want me to do it, I can easily make a tutorial of all the hows, what's, and what not to do's. If people would like that enough, I will be willing to do that. But for now, there you go, you have the plugin installed.